So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Top 5 phones that you can buy for November 2018. Now, I want to let you know that the perspective I'm coming from is from the US perspective. So the brand Huawei is not going to be on this list, although this is the P20 Pro. These are the best phones you can buy that are not in the US. They're some of the best. So definitely take a look at Huawei if you're not in the US, and there's available there. The Mate 20 Pro is a great phone, as well as the P20 Pro. But let's get started with my top 5 phones that I've purchased and used on the day-to-day basis, beginning with number 1 in the Galaxy Note 9. Okay, so the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is number 1 on my list because of a few reasons, mostly because it has the best screen I've seen on any smartphone this year when it comes to overall quality, vibrance, and just everything. It's kind of like the one that you put next to any other phone and you're like, okay, that's a beautiful screen right there. Even if you're not a Samsung fan, you can appreciate the Galaxy Note 9's screen if you do love technology. It really makes no compromises as number 2 reason why this is my number 1 phone of November 2018. And also number 3 is it's on a discounted price right now of like $200 off, and if you act fast, you can get basically a $1,000 phone for $799 or a $1,300 phone for $1,049. That's the 512 gigabyte model with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So the Galaxy Note 9, number 1 in my top phones because it's just a total package. It has a great camera on the rear, great dual camera, fingerprint sensor. It has face unlock, iris scanning. It also has Samsung Pay, which works just about anywhere. It has the S Pen to add productivity to your life here. It also has great battery life. In addition to that, like we said, it has a great screen, and the only thing that might make people pause is the software not being updated quite as frequently. However, what I can state is that Samsung is going to be bringing Android 9 Pie here. It does take them forever to do it, but the software that they do release does work well enough, and there's only one bug that I found with the Galaxy Note 9, and that's sometimes the camera will freeze. People know about this. It's a known issue. Samsung's going to fix that, but it hasn't happened enough to like ruin the experience for me of the Galaxy Note 9. So overall, pretty great phone here, and it just offers pretty much everything you would want in a device, and that's why it's number 1 on my list for top phones of November 2018. So my second top phone of November 2018 is the Apple iPhone XR, and here's why. The iPhone XR comes in multiple colors, basically can please many people when it comes to the color choice they do have. In addition, an A12 Bionic chipset, very fast performance, and updates guaranteed for 4 to 5 years for $749 versus the $999 starting price of the XS and the $1,100 starting price of the XS Max. In other countries, even more so than this. So the XR to me represents the better value of those devices because it definitely has most of what they're offering besides the screen. Now, it's easy to come on YouTube and comment and talk crap about the screen. Go look at it in person. It's really not that big of a deal. You're not really going to notice it. But what really has affected people with the iPhone XR is its price point. $749 to some just seems too high for what you get here. But you got to remember, a lot of these phones that are competing do not have the same level of software support for multiple years as the iPhone. So you could talk about the Poco phone. You could talk about these cheaper phones. But let's see what that Poco phone is doing or how much it's worth in 4 or 5 years. Let's see if it's still updated in 4 or 5 years. I highly doubt you're going to see that phone in the same space as the iPhone XR when it comes to 4 or 5 years down the line. The XR might even be getting the latest iOS version by then. In addition, phones at the $500 price point or below that a lot of people think this phone maybe should be going for the $600 range usually don't have a $1,000 camera in them like the iPhone XR has. An amazing camera here, and the battery life on here is even better than I find on the Galaxy Note 9. So this phone is a pretty good value for $750 if you can just get over the screen and stop thinking it's going to ruin your day. It's not really going to ruin your day unless you're really looking for an ultra vibrant screen. There's other options out there. Just know what you're getting with the XR. It makes number 2 on my list for offering great battery life, a great camera, multiple years of updates, and pretty good looking design as well, although the notch should be gone in a couple years though. Okay guys, so for number 3 of my top phones for November 2018 is the Galaxy S9 series. That includes the smaller one and the S9 Plus. Main reason the iPhone XS and XS Max cannot get number 3 is because of their price point for what you get. The Galaxy S9 is going right now on Cyber Monday for about $520, in the Galaxy S9 Plus 640. If you find these phones third-party used, you're going to get them even cheaper than that. I've seen them on eBay for in the fours. So these phones are basically the Samsung equivalent of the XS and XS Max. Yes, they don't have the 7nm processors, but Apple's leading in the chip department. In real-world use, they're just as fast feeling mostly on the day-to-day with the stuff you're actually going to use. Now, a lot of people like to dismiss the Note 9 and say, well, just get an S9 Plus. It's the same phone. It's smaller. You're basically putting the same phone in number 3 slot as you put in number 1 with the Note 9. They're not the same. The Galaxy S9 Plus is more of a curved kind of feel. It's more of a sleek phone. It feels a lot like maybe like the Samsung equivalent of the iPhone 10 series over here with no notch on this device. Also, it doesn't have quite as large of a screen. It's like 0.1 inch smaller or something like that. And it doesn't have an S Pen, which is the real difference. And it has less of a square design, which makes the Note feel more, well, like a notepad. It feels more businessy. This feels more sleek flagship kind of phone. So using the Galaxy S9 Plus is a very different experience for me over using the Galaxy Note 9. I think the Galaxy S9 Plus is a sleeker looking design. And I think that it's a cheaper phone because it doesn't have an S Pen and it doesn't have 8 gigabytes of RAM and it doesn't have 512 gigabytes. So like the cheaper, sleeker phone of the Samsungs, but it doesn't have all the top dog features that the Note 9 gives you. Due to the price decrease, these having so many features on them, great cameras, variable aperture, Snapdragon 845s, plenty of RAM on the S9 Plus, 6 gigabytes. These come in as some of the best values you can buy right now, even though they're going to be replaced by the S10 in about 3 or 4 months. If you're looking for a good deal now, the Galaxy S9 Plus should be on your list, and they come in at number 3 for me. At number 4 on my list is the iPhone XS series. That includes the XS and the XS Max. Now, these phones are really great devices. They're just been priced out of the reach of many consumers, I feel like, and not per se that people can't actually buy them. It's that they don't want to buy them at these price points when there's so many other phones on the market at cheaper price points. So these phones are very fast. They have extremely great processors on them. They have great GPUs, amazing cameras on both devices. They both have dual cameras and they have pretty good battery life. The XS Max easily outshining the smaller XS. But with the XR around, a lot of people are just picking that over these devices, and Apple has scaled back production. I would say that's mostly because the price point of these devices. Bring them down and they'll sell like hotcakes. I personally feel like the XS is a $799 starting price phone, and the iPhone XS Max should be around $899 to start. Those are, I think, more reasonable than the current price structure of this, but we know that, you know, with Apple selling less phones, that they have to raise the prices to maintain profit margins to please investors. So really, you know, these phones are excellent devices. If you manage to get your hands on one of these, maybe through savings, selling off an older phone, getting them at a cheaper price, subsidizing them, getting on some, you know, program where you can pay it off, you know, over a set amount of time, I wouldn't recommend that. I recommend just buying it so you don't got to deal with that. But if you can manage to get one, they are incredible devices here. They're basically even probably smoother and better than the S9 and S9 Plus in my experience, but because they were priced out of the reach of most people, that's why they're going number 4, right behind the Galaxy devices. Amazing phones here though, in the iPhone XS and XS Max. At number 5, for my top 5 phones in November 2018, this was a tough one, and a lot of people are gonna say, are you kidding me? You're really putting them there over the OnePlus 6 series? Yes, the Pixel 3 and 3 XL take my number 5, and here's why. They have the best camera on any smartphone I found yet when it comes to still photography, computational photography. It's incredible on the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. Now, all the rumored bugs you've been hearing, most of them are true, and Google has been slow to update this for some reason. Even though it's their phones, they should be able to do this a little quicker. But we should be seeing an update in December that's going to fix a lot of these issues that the Pixel 3 and 3 XL has had. And while it shouldn't happen in the first place, the Pixel 3 XL and 3 should hold their value longer than a phone like the OnePlus, and also should get more updates as it's Google's own phone. In addition to that, I found it to be the only phone that feels as smooth as an iPhone out of any Android phone I've used. This one has that same buttery smooth feeling. It's even smoother feeling than the OnePlus 6 series, which is a faster feeling phone. This just feels more smooth and fluid. So overall, because the Pixel 3 has an amazing camera and has a 1440p display, I had to give it the win over the OnePlus 6T. Now, it does have a notch on this phone, but you can hide it, which I have done easily in your settings. So just go into developer options and hide the notch and you're good to go. There's no more notch on this phone. You could do that on the OnePlus 6T as well. But for those of you who are just not going to get this phone because there's a notch, do be aware that you can hide it for this device. And I just had to give the OnePlus 6 series some airtime because these phones offer some of the best value in smartphones today. These phones are basically like $700, $800 phones at cheaper price points, and they offer some incredible software that I feel like is closer to like a ROM that you used to see on like CyanogenMod. It's more similar to stock Android than even I think the new Google Pixels, which are more of a Google experience. However, Oxygen OS on board gives you some customizations you won't find on other phones. So yes, I think they do deserve to be at number 6 if there was a number 6. The only reason it didn't take the win over the Pixel series to me is because they have good cameras, but they're not the best cameras on a phone. They don't have the best screens on a phone. I think the Pixel 3 XL has a sharper screen than this one. That's why it didn't go there. They don't have the best battery life. I think the iPhone XR has better battery life than both of these, as well as the Note 9. And they just don't have as long of update support like the iPhone XS and XS Max. So they do everything really good and pretty close to all these flagships, but there is compromises on the OnePlus series devices. And you get a neat feature with the under display fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus 6T, which doesn't always work super fast as you've seen right there, but it's still a neat new innovation that you don't see on any other phone basically in the US at this current price point. So that's it. These are my top 5 phones for November 2018. Now, hold up, be careful before you think that I'm telling you these are the best phones for you. These are the best phones that I've experienced. You might have a phone that you think is better than all of these on this table. I think we know what many people think that is, and that's the Mate 20 Pro. If you feel that way, drop it down below. If you feel like the Poco phone represents a better value than the Pixel, for example, drop that down below. If you feel like there's a phone out there we didn't cover, maybe the LG V40, maybe the LG G7 ThinQ. By the way, I didn't mention LG in this video because I've been disappointed with their software support. It's been very slow lately, and I just find it not to run as fast as a lot of these phones and as polished. That's why LG did not make the list on this video. So if you have a phone that you think is the best, comment it down below. If you agree with my list, let me know. If you would switch it up, put it in your order, let us know, because your comments make a difference in helping people decide as well, because many will thumb up your comment, many will see yours, agree with your opinion, and then they'll make it a decision as well. So you actually are contributing to helping others as well. If you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor and click that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next one, and peace.